Okay, well that was a first. How you doing, guys? um, I had my volume off on my entire interface across the room, and had to run across the room to get to the interface. So I apologize. We're here. We're on. I am barely with it. so so tonight we're gonna do a fun topic from my book, Filling in the Grooves. And before I kick into it, I just want to say hello. Welcome anybody who's coming to the stream for the first time. We're streaming at a new time. Figures I decided to stream an hour earlier than usual. And of course, didn't go so well. Forgot the volume on my interface. Great. But do let me know that you're here. Say hello if you're here in the chat. Just say hi. I love knowing who's here. And hey, Pat, what's going on? And we'll get rolling in a second. So I just got to gather myself. I've been working on, man, so much tech with people and like going bananas. Vincent LaRussa. Hello, Nico the filmmaker. What's up? Bob Sears. Yo, man. Good to see you, Bob. Bob, you and I have to catch up. I know. I owe you a phone call. Louis Larson. What's up, buddy? So we're going to work on some ruffs. Things are rough, man. Actually, that's the name of the page from the book, When Things Get Rough. So we're going to be working out of filling in the grooves on this page, basically. But what I did was, I don't want to give you the same fills from the book. So I took some adaptations from the book, and I made 20 other fills that we're going to get to. And I'm going to put these up. First of all, it's available in the description. So you can download this here nice little document of 20 drum fills. And so that's available in the description, and then I'm actually going to split screen it when I'm working on segments of this thing so I can show you what the notation looks like a little bit. But I am going to go through some of the muscle memory sort of exercises at the top of the page in the book just to kind of give you the background. And before we kick into it, I hope everybody's doing well. I hope your families are well. Thinking about everybody in this crazy time. I know it feels like things are loosening up, but I got a lot of people on the inside when it comes to like healthcare and stuff, and I don't know, man. I hope we don't go back too early because we're going to wind up having some setbacks, I think. The nurses are warning, giving lots of warnings. Lucia, what's up? Lucia is here. Great to see everybody. Lucia just did a great video for me. I reposted it in my story. She was playing all of her world grooves all kind of in a row, which was super fun and really well done. Simon, what's up, buddy? Hey, man. Good to see everybody. So I'm going to start jumping into it. So basically, the ruffs page, and if you don't have the book, there's a few muscle memory segments that I'm going to go through. And this stuff is coming out of from the rudimental section of the book. It's fills that are influenced by rudiments, right? So, and this one is influenced by ruffs. And there's a few little muscle memory things that we'll go over. And we're going to do a quick definition. By ruffs, we're talking about single stroke grace notes as opposed to double stroke grace notes like drags. So not drags, but ruffs meaning single, single, single. Okay, so we're going to be using, for you righties, a right, left sticking, and for us lefties, a left, right sticking. So that kind of idea. And there are a lot of little 3 groupings and stuff, but we're also going to do 4s and 6s and 5s. Within our ruffs. So just for example, something that I may do with that right, left, right, left. Of course, I'm playing it lefty. Let me show you the overhead. If I have my cameras available to switch. We're looking at this. Okay, so if I was to orchestrate that just a little bit, just that one little rudiment. So those kind of ideas are what we're going to be hitting on a little bit. And, you know, it's not just that, but that'll be some of it. I also like to orchestrate coming off the hi-hat with these. And then I will displace it by planting my foot on a downbeat, which gives us this little gap, this nice little plant. You know, it positions us to the next 16th note. So I might do something like this. So that kind of idea. So there, you know, I'm planting my foot in places where I'm resting. And what's nice about that is it adds a little bit of continuity, a little bit of a pulse in between. And notice I'm using my hi-hat foot. You could use the kick drum for sure. It just has a different attitude, doesn't it? So if I go, it's different than if I go. Right, so when I put the bass drum in there, it's got a little bit more aggressive attitude than the hi-hat. I think the hi-hat makes it a little bit more subtle. So those are just some ideas. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to start out with the segments. Okay, so we're looking at right, left. 2 30-second notes, 2 16th notes. 1 E and 1 E and. So for the 2 30-second notes, I'm just counting 1 16th note. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1. Okay? And if I keep just quarter notes with that, 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1. And so I'm using that right, left sticking, or left, right sticking, over and over and over in that case. Now we're going to do some shorter fills. We'll do some little 2-beat fills, but using this idea. Now if I was to play a 4-note group with that, I would play a double stroke on the last 2 16th notes. So we would get this, sort of a paradiddle, right? A ruffed paradiddle. Right, left, or left, right. Notice also this. I'm using a low molar stroke just to push that accent out. Okay, so a little bit, just a mention about technique, then I'm just pushing it that way instead of this way. So you can just see there's a little bit of a roll in that, in the wrist, a little bit of a whipping, rolling motion in the wrist that's going to propel that accent forward. Really fun little wrist movement, right? Which, you know, if that's new to you, then, you know, that's something that we work on using an upstroke and a downstroke to achieve that motion, right? And this is stuff that we do in my hands workshop every Thursday night. We do a lot of this kind of stuff. Now, so that's the first 2 segments. So we have that right, left, left, and then right, left, right, left, right, left, left. Then we're going to do, if we did 5 notes, we're going to play single strokes, and we're going to basically put the ruff on the 1, the E, the and the So it would be 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and okay, and at the end I'm just going to play out the end of the 16th notes for a 1-bar phrase. 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and 1. 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and 1. 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and you could do the rough at the end. I did it in the last couple before that. Here, I'll do it against 8th notes again. 3 and 4 and 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and so if I orchestrated that 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and okay, and then at the end of that, I like the exit strategy of just playing 16th notes out, and I might even put a bass drum on the end. Okay, so that's the group of 5. These will show up in the fills from time to time, so we're going through kind of preliminary stuff. Then we have a 6, so we would go right, left, right, left, right, left, left. So a double stroke at the end. And, you know, I initially learned these little segments from studying with Kim Plainfield at Drummers Collective. Rest in peace, Kim Plainfield. And these were his ideas and that I learned early on, and he called it odd ruffs. And it's super fun. I mean, you can just combine segments of these different ideas to create rhythmic variations on the drum set. So it definitely influenced me and then came out in my drum fills, which came out in my book. So so that's that. So that's the first few segments. So we had 3s, we did 4s, we did 5s, we did 6s, and last but not least, we'll have 7s, and we'll do the same thing like the 5. We'll play single strokes. So 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and 1E and 2E and now you notice that one would go way over the bar line if I kept playing it. However, if we just do the 2 7s, then we have 2 notes at the end, 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and on the bass drum, 1. 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and 1, 2, 3E and 4. 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and 1. Okay, so there's the 7Zs. So those are the few little segments, and we're going to start putting some things together. So I'm going to go one at a time with these drum fills. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to split screen. Yeah, I'll split screen just to show you the fill, and then I'll go back to the live shot because I don't want to only show, because it blocks up a lot of the screen. Really, that's the reason. And I think you'll benefit more from watching. But here, this is what it would look like. Let's see. I go into a split screen. This should be on this side of the page. Okay. So I don't know if this is helpful. You tell me in the chat if this is at all helpful to see. Rocco Deserto, what's up? What's going on, buddy? So here's the deal. Here's the first one. 1E and 2E and very simple, right? Sounds hard, it's pretty easy. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Now that one fill, let me move this back a little bit. That one fill, if we just move that around and orchestrate it, we could create several different fills with it, right? So if we had, that was all snare, very, very loose, right? I'm keeping my hands loose. I'm using that whipping stroke, a low molar stroke for the accents. So what if I did... right? Very easy, very clear, great at different tempos, right? You could do that at a slow tempo, it'll feel good. You could do it at a faster tempo, it'll feel great as well, right? I like those little splits, right? What if we did, so we want to get some lower range in the fill, right? Or could do it as like a big Neil Peartish kind of fill, right? Right, so, and again, that same position, just keep splitting it and play with it. I mean, this is the way I come up with my ideas. I'll just shed on one thing for a very long time. A long time. Right, so just directional, using the direction. How many surfaces can you split it on? You could do things like this. Or I was going to reverse it. So there's just a lot of ways to take that one little and move that around. All right, so now that's the first one. The second one, going across the page, and tell me if the page is obscuring it too much, but this one I like a lot. So we're going to plant a bass drum on the one. We're going to play the ruff here, and then we're going to hit the accent on the snare. So we get this. And I will typically put my foot, my hi-hat foot, and plant that right in between so that we get that little nice, or I put the kick on the one. All right, so that one in time. One and two. One, two. Right, so that's a nice one. Put it wherever you like, right? Start orchestrating with that. That one's really nice. You get nice and deep, right? And again, you know, if it was quicker, one and two. One and two. That's a nice one. It's nice and punchy. Sounds hard, not hard, easy. Dot, dot, dot. That's the way I like to do it a lot of the time right there. Hi-hat, right? And again, you know, experiment with the orchestration. All right. We are moving forward into the next one. Actually, the next one is kind of the same thing. This one's specific. It's half of a fill from the book. So I did this. So we're doing da-ga-doom, ga-ga-doom. There's the overhead. Let me show you that cam on top so you can see kind of the what that looks like. And with the bass drum in the front, planting that and the low tom, And again, make it groove. Like if it doesn't feel good, there's no point. I think it feels good. So one and two. So I swung it a little bit in that example. And of course, you know, if you start to swing it, it just spaces where it goes into more of a triplet fill. You know, you push the ruff later if you start swinging it. If I do it straight like that, it has one feeling. If I go, see how I moved that ruff over to make room in the triplet grid. So if I'm playing one and so it takes on a different feeling. So anyway, so I enjoy the feeling of that one in that way. So here's another one of these little guys. And this, again, is an adaptation of the same thing. So a lot of these half-bar fills are coming off of the same idea, changing orchestration or perhaps ghost notes. So this one, number 4, and I'm going to ghost that last note pretty quietly. You almost can't hear it. Here, let me show you from the side. I am hitting. I don't know if you can exactly hear that. Here's the. All right, so there's that one. So if we're playing again, you know, maybe something funky. All right, so I started to swing that. I'm in a swingy feel tonight. And again, you know, the ruff could be, like I'm doing it off of here. And notice I'm using that foot plant. All right, so there's that. So that's kind of a nice little funky one. I think we can keep moving. So this one, again, I'm using this hi-hat stuff. So this is number 5. I like using the hi-hat versions of it. If anybody has any questions or answers or comments or anything of the sort, put it in the little comment section. Chris Peters, yo, what's up, man? I don't know if I said hello to you before. Oh wait, let me. Where's my glasses? I need my goggles, Pat. I can't see what you wrote. Apparently, running across the room is how you get your exercise these days. Yeah, dude. You know, I'm just gonna say for a moment. You know, there's a little delay between when you guys write and when I see it. That could be just my brain. I don't know. But yeah, like trying to run the show by yourself. It gets a little bit tricky at times. I'm trying to get better at it. But if you guys have you know, any comments or questions about any of this stuff, please go in the chat area, because I would like to talk to you guys and not just, you know, goof off all night. So okay, so here's the next one. We're using that hi-hat thing, and I just realized that I copy and pasted one and didn't change it. So I owe you a fill in this one. We'll take one out of the book. I see that the next two are the same. I apologize. We'll change that up. All right, so this one goes. So I'm using, again, that foot plant. You know, I really like this sound. It sounds like it should be tricky, right? But it's not. It's real simple. It just has a nice, and by the way, you know, technique-wise, you have to practice that because you will definitely, you know, hit rims and you know, it's a weird target, right? It's just sideways kind of. So I probably did a lot of practicing on that. I definitely did a lot of practicing on it, but all right. So this next film, okay, so it was like the slow motion version of it. Good sound, right? And of course, you know, you can move that from the hi-hat to a tom, to a floor tom, to just the snare. And it's just about the placement. E and right? E and E and for E and E and for E and and you could just again you leave off that last note for the kick drum. So if it was a tom based thing, right? But I enjoy the hi-hatty snarey things, right? Right there, I just split it. So anyway, there it is. So all right, so now we're getting into our first one bar fill. And this one kind of is a paraphrase from the book. I'm putting my foot, kind of planting my foot on all 4 beats, or on the first 3 beats. So we have that same beginning. So we have this little split, right? And then we're going to go from the toms. So it's 2 halves to it. It's the same phrase twice. And then in the second half, notice I'm going with the ruff up top, then coming down to what I call bucket of fish position, and I missed the snare. Okay, so that one, you know, sounds tricky, but it's not. Same idea. Right? That's the whole phrase. All right, so, and we could keep moving that around to different places. I'm trying to remember exactly what I wrote there. I apologize. Right? Super fun. I like that one. And, you know, play around with the orchestration. You could do the same orchestration twice. Right? Super fun. All right, cool. Now, the next one is kind of just moving things. I'm using that foot again to plant it. using sort of, again, we're using this little idea that we're keep building from. This next one. So this one, I'm putting the hi-hat on the 1, the and of 2, and the 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. Play that phrase, then I play it again. And then, so the count would be 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1, 2, 3 E and 4. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1, 2, 3 E and 4. 1 E and 2 E, 3 E and 4 E and 1, 2. Sounds like a Bonham thing, right? So again, you know, similar phrase to everything else. It's got that foot plant thing going on, which is super helpful. Right, so if you want to make that a tom fill, you could do something along those lines. If you're playing on a 4-piece, you could do... that little feeling right there. Where's my overhead? That's actually sounds pretty beefy, right? Well, I didn't switch cameras. There it is. So we have that little... toms. Right. So that's a nice little fill. That's super fun and effective. I think they're effective, these fills, not defective. I said effective. What's the matter with you people? All right. Let me go back to the side cam. And we'll go over to the next one, which I lost my document. Oh, my goodness. All right. Split screen. There we go. Okay, what are we up to? That was 8. We're up to number 8. All right, so here's 9 and 10. So just to switch gears, here's a couple of triplet examples, because thus far, all of these examples are straight 8th feeling stuff, right? Or 16th note feeling stuff. And a lot of like sort of half clave on a lot of it, right? And then on the full bar fills, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, right? A lot of that kind of feel in my playing. I think I naturally feel, you know, these kind of clave patterns in the things that I play. You know, like from one of my other pages, I'm thinking that kind of stuff, right? I'm playing a lot of a lot of 3s, right? Which, that's not the ruffs. Those are more drag-oriented stuff. But the same kind of feeling, like I just feel that in my playing. It makes me happy. It makes me happy, it does. Okay, I'm sorry. So the next one. So this one, we're going to do the same idea. But now we're going to play it as triplets. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4, and same fill, really, as some of the straight stuff. But now we're going to play it as a triplet. So the first one will be 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4, and And that's great for setting up a band if they're going to come in on the and a 4. Or, you know, if the feel is just landing that anticipation, right? So nice and easy, sounds good, sounds tricky, but it's not. Da-da-da-da. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, and. Right? So, and again, tempo, that works at a slow tempo if you wanted something, you know, punchy. But if that was a quicker thing, all right, so that one's super fun. Do it off of the ride cymbal. I did a third one in there. I put in a third one, right? And of course that, you know, that can come right out of the Swiss Army triplet. Right? It's the same idea, but we're opening up that into a rough. Mix and match, right? Anyway, super fun, right? Okay, so there's the first swing one, number 9. All right, so we're up to number 10. We're like the halfway of these things. Now this one, I reverse this thing. So I put the left in the front so that I keep the, of course I'm speaking backwards because I'm a lefty and I teach righties all the time. So for you guys, it would be your left hand planting the first stroke. And then we're going to play the rough. So it's the same sticking. We're just offsetting it by that left. That one sounds tricky. It's really not, because we're going to go 1 and triplet, right? So, I mean, 1 triplet, triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4, and 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4, and here's the overhead. I like this one a lot. So that's the ruffs part of it. I always want to put in a third one. So anyway, that's a good feeling, Phil. You know, in the first one, and then this one could be like a contrasting one you do later. And it doesn't have to be a swing shuffle like that. It could be, you know, be a halftime rock shuffle. It could be so either way, you displace or so you have those two sort of positions for that fill. Both of them super effective, super fun. I like them. I enjoy them. They make me happy. They make me so happy. Oh my God. All right. All right. Before I go into the, so far we got the first, almost the whole first page done. And then we have a few sort of aggressive ones. I got some 6/8 ones coming up too, because I'm a huge fan of playing 6/8 stuff. But I'll try to get to all of them. If I don't, you have the PDF. You could have some fun with it. Again, it all comes from this page. When things get rough, this whole thing. I realized that the groove that I did is very in the book is very close to what I was playing tonight, which I didn't really plan, but in the funkier side of things. So I kind of like that that feel for this stuff, but it works, man. It works really for anything. Could be a more aggressive kind of tune. All right, I'm just going to keep moving then. If we don't have questions or comments, I'm just going to keep the ball rolling. What's the matter with you people? All right, so this one we tagged on some 30-second notes at the end. Let me put that back over here. Excuse my ums. I try not to say I apologize. I don't want to be saying ums. Here goes the split. All right, so this one is number 11. Now, so that one at the very end, if you're on a 5-piece, is your 30-second notes. So now, if we're going the break in the front, pretty aggressive, and you know, if that seems a bit much, you could go. I planted a bass drum on 4, so it would be. Or you just put them all in, right? So that's pretty aggressive, but we have to put in a couple of those just in case it's necessary, right? Who knows what style you'll be playing. And again, you know, the first half of it, split them up however you want, you know? So I put that bass drum in the hole that time. Oh, you could do. So if you're playing on a small kit like this, right here, 4, let me go to the overhead. If you're on a 4-piece, you could do it that way. There's a few options. Let me switch that over there. This one. There it is. So, man. Or so that if that exit strategy, that's actually harder than, right? Ergonomically, it depends how you're set up. You could also do, yeah. Yeah, that would be tricky, right? I don't like that one as much. It's too hard. Well, I like this one better. So, that'll work. All right. So anyway, I'm getting stuck on this one for too long. But some ideas to mess around with on the 30-second note part. I'm sure you could come up with some stuffs. All right, so this is where kind of the 5s are in here. And then I'm just doing a paradiddle on the end. So we're going 1 E and 2 E and 3 E, E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and I just said some gibberish before. I don't know what I said. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1, 2. So that's our little 5s. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E. So I like that. I tend to throw that kind of stuff in a bit. Flams, ruffs. I like 5s. I like the idea of playing the 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a, so that you're hitting like every 5 notes, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4. And it comes out of grid playing, right? It's in my grids from like the our Thursday night thing. The last few bars are in that 5-note grid, right? So with the ruffs, it's really fun. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E, E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1, 2 3 and 4. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1, 2. Okay, so there's that one in context. 1 E. Doing that bass drum substitution again, but the paradiddle works just as well. All right, so that is number 12. Holy moly. All right, so now this one I like because the kick drum is on the 1, the 2, the 3, and the 4. We're in quarter notes. Oh, no, it's not. We're playing 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and 4. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and 4. 1 E. 1 E and a 2 E. So that one's really fun. And we're answering with the bass drum on every single one. We're displacing by putting the bass drum on the 1. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and. right? So that's a good sounding fill, and the bass drum is playing, you know, a pretty good role in that and keeping that 1 E, 2 E, and at the E and 4, 1 E, 2 E, and at the E and 4. And if you're trying to get that down, I would just practice 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4, 1 E, 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E, 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. Again, orchestration, right? The hi-hat sounds pretty nice. Again, sounds tricky, but it's not. It's the same movement over and over. Good little sticking, right? Loves it. Who's that? Mike B? What? Wait, hold on one second. I got to read this. Hello? Mike B. I don't even own drumsticks, and I watch this. Oh, my God. Hey, Mike. What's up? I'm pretty sure that's my neighbor, Mike. He doesn't play the drums. He's a really interesting guy. He does a lot of other things, but drumming is not one of them. I can look up at my security cam across the room and see his truck right now in his front door. My back is basically to his house, kind of. I'm catty-cornered, but he's over there. Okay, anyway, I'm going to keep moving. So, and again, you know, the hi-hats splitting stuff, you know, I keep gravitating towards that just because I personally like it. You let me know if you guys like that at all. I don't know. So check this out. Here's the next one. Again, very similar, right? It's like the same fill regurgitated 9 million different ways. What the heck? That is a good sounding fill. I don't care what anybody says. I displaced it. I apologize. All right, so that's super fun. And again, that just comes down to orchestration. I mean, if I played these fills all on the snare drum, they would all sound identical. Wouldn't it? Right, left, right, left. Right, left, right, left. Right, left, right, left. I mean, it still sounds good on the snare, but, you know, again, if you're practicing, you will have it together very, very well. Yes. Kristen, what's up? Hey, Kristen. Makers Park Radio. Right? Did I say that right? GoPro video mode. What are you doing? Makers Park Radio. Look that up on the internet. Kristen runs a radio station that plays like all kinds of cool stuff. Super, super diverse. Lots of shows. You could basically hear really any style. I mean, from what she was telling me, it goes from music from hip-hop to metal to music from Senegal. No, not Senegal. India. There was a show from India. I forget where she said exactly. But all kinds of music and talk. I think there's a whole, I don't know how many shows. There's a lot of shows. But check it out. I think it's Maker Park Radio. Kristen Wallace. Fellow drummer. Cool chick. All right. Here we go. We're keep moving now. Mike B. What? Yes, that's me. Nice. All right. Here we go. So let's keep this moving. So the next one. Oh, so this one, I was fooling around earlier playing this stuff. And this is just a fun one that I think it's a hybrid of two different ideas. So it does have two ruffs in it, and then it has this. So this is, now it doesn't have to be as many drums as I have, because I am playing on 4 toms. But the idea is that I'm playing back and forth to give it a different melodic thing. So that's at the end of our 2 ruffs. So we have this. Okay, so boom, chicka da da doo da da. Okay, more of a feature type fill. Right, so it's kind of got that feature feel, like it's building to something, and then you have this little space. Maybe it's going to go to a bridge at that point, or maybe the feel is about to change. Oh, you could use the hi-hat foot too. You could plant that instead of the kick. But I like it. It's very lyrical sounding, isn't it? And it's partially is the melodic thing, right? But if you had a 4-piece, you could go. Right, so. If you only had a snare and a floor tom, you could do this. Right? You could split it there. I don't know if that would work. That could work. But I like the melodic aspect of it, so anyway. All right, so that's kind of an oddball one. Now the next one is really one of the first ones in the book. And again, this just uses 1 ruff right at the top. This one's really easy, but it sounds busy. It's kind of a cool thing. Not terribly hard. This is number 17, I believe. Wait, 13, 14, 15. Number 16. So we're doing 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and a lot of little ghost notes in the snare, right? So. And if I left out the ghost notes, it would be, but I'm ghosting in between all of that. So that's a nice fill. That's real tasty. I think it's pretty simple and sounds hard, easy to play though, right? So if you were playing this kind of feel, you know, 4 on the floor, it would work. If you were doing like a real slow, jammy kind of thing. Or if you're playing like a fast Ole mole. That's a super fun one. Okay. Right? That's pretty lyrical too. I feel like that's a great transitional little thingamajangy. Let me see how we're doing on time. Oh my God. 5 minutes over, people. I told you I wasn't going to get to everything. I am going to wrap it up now because I have an appointment. I'm coaching tonight, so I have a coaching appointment. I'm teaching in like 10 minutes, and I'm going to be late for that probably because I have to go make some hot chocolate. I think it's a hot chocolate kind of night. What do you think, people? All right. Well, you have the PDF. I apologize if I got a little long-winded. I start playing and I start having fun. I'd rather just play some drums instead of, breaking down 20 drum fills. I just want to play for y'all. Maybe put on some tracks and just play. Maybe I should do more of that. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go make hot chocolate. I'm going to see you guys hopefully on. Let me switch cameras again. I just realized that you're talking to the top of my head. No, I'm talking to the top of my head. Oh my God. All right. People, I'll see you Thursday at 7 o'clock for the hand technique workshop. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you had fun. I hope that it was useful. I try to bring some useful things forth in my crazy rants over here on YouTube. My mom's here. Hi, Jim. You're looking good. Yeah, I haven't shaved in 3 days. I don't know how good I'm looking, but thanks, Mom. My mom has every right to say that because some people would say this is a face only a mother could love. Oh, my God. Bob Sears, thank you for coming. Mike Beef, thank you for coming. Kristen Wallace, thank you for coming. Rocco, Lucia, Bob, Chris Peters. Who else was here? Back to the top. Everybody else. Pat Ross was the first one in here. Vincent LaRusso, Nico the filmmaker. Louis Larson. Vincent LaRusso, you owe me lunch when the pandemic's over. Simon, thanks for hanging, Simon. I mean, that's like amazing to see Simon in here. I haven't seen Simon in here in a while. All right, guys, I'm going to run. I hope you guys have a great week. Keep those families safe, and I will talk to you real soon. I'm going to roll the titles, and I'll see you Thursday. Thanks, guys.